Hi, my name's Marietta Mahoney, and this week's Aqua tip, we're going to be using the Noodle, and we're going to do a couple of things at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this Noodle behind one ankle and take it behind my body. So the Noodle is back here. So it's underneath my ankle, and ideally I have about the same length out of the water so that my ankle is at the halfway point. So the first thing that we're going to do is start kicking the leg down. But there's more to this. So I'm standing in chest depth water, right? Now I'm going to kick my foot down and kick my foot forwards. Ha ha! Cool exercise. Now right now, so you can do them both at the same time, or you can go kick down, kick down, kick down, kick down, kick down. So one at a time, almost a bit like almost like a rocking horse action, but it's a little bit different, right? So you can choose one or the other. I really like both of them happening at the same time because then I can add arm actions like a reverse stroke, breaststroke. I call it the opposite of a breaststroke, reverse stroke. So both are kicking at the same time. Kick, 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 reverse, reverse, and you can get people to move forwards and back. Yep, takes a little bit of coordination. You can get the arms to move out and in, out. Actually, that's a lot harder to go out, in, because you're thinking, all right, what am I doing with my legs? So I'll go out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Gosh, I have to really think about that. But just one-way arm actions work really, really well. So even if you're going and you're just doing sculling to the side, so the focus is just on what you're doing with your legs and you're kicking them both at the same time. I prefer both at the same time rather than the kick down, but you know, if you're doing stuff around brain training, it makes sense to play around with the different ways that you can kick in the pool. Now, with the kicking leg, of course, you're going to feel this in the quads, but what you want to feel in the other leg that's off the Noodle is in the hamstrings. So when you're kicking, you want to pull the front heel in towards your buttocks, yes, so that you're kicking your leg down, so it becomes a hamstring quad exercise at the same time, and then of course you change legs. I think it's very cool. How do you swap sides? Well, you can bring the Noodle into the center, do something like a jack, and then you just flip around and you place, hang on, so you go from here, let me just work this out. So you go from here, right, from here, it goes around into the middle, and then you just turn, that's it, you turn around and you've got it on the opposite side. There you go, there you go. There's the Marietta creativity there. So you've got both legs, go back to the center, out, in, turn the body so that they know to put it underneath the opposite ankle, whoops, and then off you go. So a little bit of fun, something that's a little bit different. I hope you enjoy the creativity in the pool, and that is this week's Aqua tip. Demonstrating the Noodle kicking action on land is very challenging, mainly because this won't float in the air. It drops down because of gravity. And it does take a little bit of getting into as an instructor. So let me go through it step by step. So ask your participants to start by placing the Noodle between their legs, because this is the easiest way to then position the Noodle underneath the ankle. Now decide on which ankle it's going to be that you're going to place the Noodle underneath. And what you want to do is position the Noodle so that if it's going to be my right ankle that's going to go on the Noodle, I move the front of the Noodle to the right and then place my ankle here. So the front of the Noodle goes across to the right and then my ankle goes on the Noodle. Then you ask them to place their ankle on the Noodle, and you're holding the ends on pool deck, and you ask them to start by kicking the Noodle down, okay, without holding on to the Noodle. Right? So obviously your Noodle's going to drop down pool deck because it's not attached to your foot, right? So that's what you do. You demonstrate that motion. So you say, okay, ankle on the Noodle, kicking down in the water, but please don't hold on to the Noodle. Now, once you've got that going, what I want you to do is now lift the other leg up off the bottom of the pool and start kicking forwards. So what I want you to do is kick your noodle forwards, kick your noodle down and kick your leg forward. So kicking your noodle down and kicking the opposite leg forwards, and now add the sculling arms, or add the breaststroke arms, or the reverse stroke arms, whichever arms that you're choosing to do. Now, I did mention in the pool that there was another way that you could show them, in that you get them in that position where they're kicking the leg up and down, and then they can go down and then kick forward, kick down, kick forward, kick down, kick forward, kick down, kick forward, kick down, kick forward. If you've got a bit of muscle strength, sometimes I find it easier to demonstrate it this way. And so I say, okay, kick down, kick forward, kick down, kick forward, or kick at the same time. Yeah, I sometimes like to do that because I feel like it's a little bit easier than see on the back of the frame. Either way, there's quite a bit of explaining to do. Now, I'm not sure if you remembered, but when I was in the pool, I was trying to figure out how you switch from side to side. So what you do is it's underneath that right ankle, you bring it in between your legs, you bring the noodle across to your left foot, left side, so you use your left hand, put it across, and then it's your left ankle on the noodle. So that's how you can swap sides. So it goes in between your legs and then to the other side. So much easier than take the noodle behind your back, try and get your foot on top of the noodle, try and kick the noodle forward so you can bring it up in front to switch positions again. So messy. So, noodle between the legs. Move to the right, lift up the right ankle. Start kicking that leg down. Add the sculling arms. Either sit on the back of the frame and demonstrate the opposite leg action. Bring it between your legs. Swap it to the other side, left-hand side, and then now perform the exercise on the left-hand side. Have a bit of a practice with this before you actually teach this in front of your class, so you get comfortable with switching the sides of where the noodle's going to be. Sorry, I've got the hiccups now. So that you can be clear when you communicate to your class. It's a really cool exercise. It's really creative. Obviously something that you can do when you're in the pool, but really challenging to teach on pool deck. And that is this week's Aqua tip.